family. This is Angel's Impact. Welcome back to another episode. I am with the infamous Camille. This is my famous loctician and my advisor and the person that hears all of my stuff for 3 hours every 5 weeks. Say hi, Camille.
Hey, guys.
Camille is also conscious, and that's why she's able to do my hair. She's conscious, she's a spiritual warrior, she is knowledgeable, and just the way her lifestyle, period, is what captivated me about her and what instantly drew me to her. And that is the only reason that she's able to do my hair. Because I don't let people do my hair that's not on the right frequency.
As you shouldn't. Energy is important. Pay attention to that.
Yes, especially in my hair. So close to my skin, so close to my brain.
Yeah.
Very important on who's pouring into you, the people around you. They actually do increase your value. So the fact that she does my hair increases my value, and as a part of my thinking, it increases my value with people that surround me and that has intimate moments with me, which is important, and they have to be on the frequency and hand-picked. The universe just hand-picks people to put into my cipher. So me and Camille, we were talking a lot about how we feel about this whole COVID epidemic, and we were talking a lot about how we feel about these school systems that our children are in. Tell me what you about to do, Camille. You about to go where? You about to go
the whole world, okay?
Where you about to go?
We're going to Jamaica for
On a
3
school
weeks.
On a school day?
Yes, on a school day.
You
I'm
ain't
not that
worried?
parent.
You not worried about school truancy?
No, I don't care. My children learn more in the world. That the world is your classroom. They learn more out there than they do in the classroom.
It wouldn't hurt to get them that Wi-Fi box before you go, though.
I'm gonna look into it.
Look into it, because you don't want them to get behind.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
They may not have to log in, but they can certainly get some work done. Take an hour out of their day.
Right.
To just so they don't get too behind.
Right.
You don't want them to come back 3 weeks from now and be bogged down.
Oh, no. I already talked to all the teachers. They've given us work for ahead of time, and then they've already, pointed out the things that they need to focus on, and stuff that they don't have to really focus on. So I think we're in a good space. And I have a good relationship with the teachers, so they know if it's something that they need, they can ask me, and I'm definitely there to support them.
How do you feel like this virtual learning has empowered you? I know for me, I'm able to have more control over what my son is doing, as far as his studies. This experience with the virtual learning, I've been able to teach my son how to communicate with other people, like when he needs technical assistance, when he needs assistance from his teachers. I've been able to teach my son to say more than yeah, no, So this has been, and I've been right there to coach him through how to communicate to these instructors, and how to view the work that they're doing. In addition, I'm not getting disciplinary behavior phone calls.
That's a plus.
I'm not getting phone calls saying that my son done kicked the shit out of somebody. I've also been, what it allows us to do as parents is step up and take more and be able to manage their education more than us just putting them on a school bus and waiting on them to come back.
Yeah, for sure. So I homeschooled for about 2 years, a few years back. So what you asked, how it's empowered me, it's actually gotten us back to that space. So my children are in middle school, so they were really concerned about their friends and stuff.
Right.
So now that they cannot go to school, they understand that, okay, mommy wasn't that crazy. It's okay to learn these things, because some of the stuff that they're doing, as far as assignments are concerned, they understand that it's just busy work and they're not necessarily learning anything new. However, if I, bring something up, now we have more time to work on things that actually matter, like budgeting and planning for your next 10, 15 years of your life. What do you want your life to look like? We're able to have these new conversations and actually write it down on paper, and it makes sense to them now. So I'm really grateful for that. You touched on their communication. That was something that was concerning to me too. My son can be very short.
Yeah.
So now that he has to actually ask for assistance, he has to create a whole email, not just a quick,
exactly.
Can you help me? No, I need details. I need the assignment. I need what you need exactly, what you're looking for in the assignment, where you need the help, all that good stuff. So it's been a blessing in disguise,
it has.
Honestly.
I've had to teach my son how to communicate via email, how to communicate verbally, using paragraphs,
right.
How to follow up
right.
on the answers that you need,
right.
and not just wait for someone to get back to you.
Right.
This has been an opportunity for me to really teach my son time management.
That too.
That time management skill, and it is so important because my son, his focus is short. He's only interested in what he's interested in, but the lesson is we got to be interested in everything that involves you.
Exactly.
Even if you don't like the task at hand. Even if you don't like the task at hand, Elijah, you still have to be on top of your time. And managing your time is a life skill.
Very true. Some of us still struggle.
Yeah, you better learn it now. And because your attention span, it could be short, we are practicing that, we are exercising that muscle, because in a few short years, you're going to be responsible for your time. Every second counts.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to accomplish anything business-wise, you have to already be skilled with following up,
right.
and managing your time, and
right.
making other people move around your time.
Exactly. That's a very good point.
So this has been, as a parent, I've been involved. I've been explaining to him why some subjects are important, like French. My son is in the 10th grade.
Right.
Why do I need French? Well, son, learning a different language and being fluent in reading, writing, and speaking other languages increases your value.
Yes, it does. Make yourself more marketable.
It increases your value, son. Look at all the countries that we visited. Luckily, a lot of them are English-speaking countries, but for the most part, they speak French.
Yeah, it comes in handy, for sure.
Son, but you know what I really noticed, Camille?
What's that?
That really has been bothering me?
What's that?
They, in our community schools, are hiring teachers that are not English-based,
really?
to teach important classes like algebra, geometry. So I'm listening, because I have him sitting right with me while I'm working. He's working too, and I'm hearing the teachers, geometry teacher, who's not U.S. Born, and you can't understand a goddamn word he's saying. How are you teaching my son subjects like algebra? Now, mind you, they'll be happy to tell these students, I have 2 master's degrees, and I am working on a doctorate. So I am qualified to teach you. But my point is, that's great from the country that you're from. But for these kids to learn these essential skills, they need to be able to understand their instructor.
Well, I'm kind of indifferent on that. So I grew up in a fairly minority or international community, rather. My algebra teacher, I'll never forget Miss Conway. She used to sing this little song, and I knew I would never knew negative B plus minus square. I never knew I would never ever use that in my life. But it helped me to, as a child, to be more optimistic and empathetic, because not only is she put herself in this environment to help me as a child, I had to learn that my way is not the only way. Mm-hmm. So that's how, like, when my children complain about their teachers, and I'm like, well, what can you do to improve what you get out of the teacher? And usually that helps as far as understanding them. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff you could try. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I also think that as a Black community, that's partly our fault. It's not a lot of us going back to where we need to be to take care of our kids. Nor are there a lot of us that are actually taking up positions that are truly about the community. It's more so about the money, which I get. Everybody needs money. But I would like to see more Black people in power doing what we need to do for the next generations, and not leaving it up to, you know, Sue Lee or anybody else to teach our children.
I'll tell you, in New York City, watching my children go through the Board of Education. What in my children, one of my children, my daughter, she went to primarily charter schools. Charter schools were more academically vigorous, but what I found is that it wasn't the right environment for her. What I found by the time she got to Democracy Prep and out in Harlem, it was, my daughter was leaving the house around 6:45 in the morning, and she wasn't returning home till about 5:36. Wow. And she was traveling on the train. It was like she was putting in a full day's work, just like I was. And then she had to come home to 2 hours of homework. Right? And I, you know, me as growing up academically capable, I thought she was getting the best education in the world. But it wasn't the right fit for her. It was too much. And when I realized that this place is just producing robots, and what they were learning in New York City was how to take a test, opposed to learning the work. Like, when I went to elementary and middle school, they taught us the work. So when it came down to state exams, at the end of the year, we did maybe a week review, not spend the whole year on how to take that one test.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, they actually taught us to work, so we were more competitive with those state, you know, exams, ELA and mathematics, yearly exams. What I also noticed is that our children in New York City were being taught by young white people just coming out of school. And it was years later that I realized that they're fluctuating in our communities because
they get paid more.
No, not only that, but they get they become qualified for the student forgiveness program. See, the deal is, if you get these student loans and you work in impoverished or minority communities for like 7 to 10 years, we'll forgive the rest of your loans.
Oh, wow.
Wherever you're up to, we'll just forgive them, and your debt will be gone.
Just gone.
Gone.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I've been working in the minority or Black community since I was in school and after school, and I'm still not able to be a part of the student forgiveness program because they want too much money a month. They want it up to $400 a month. I'm like, y'all serious? You're not getting that from me. For how long? And you can't miss a payment. So if you pay me $400 a month, mind you, I went all the way to doctoring. So I owe these motherfuckers over $300,000 in student loans. I don't think they're ever gonna get a cent out of me. Like never. Like not at all. Not at all. Like, you're not getting nothing. I will be on a forever lifetime deferment. Fuck you.
I'm a professional student.
I'm a professional deferment. I don't have it. So that's what knocked me out of the box for the student forgiveness loans. So even buying into education, I ended up with a bunch of loans that don't go away.
Yeah.
It don't go away.
Oh, but there, I can't show my tool. I'll get food. No. Yeah, that side is better.
Okay. And so they just not going to get their money. But what I did notice, and you're right, but I think that I've been listening to Dr. Steve Perry and Dr. Umar Johnson have these conversations about the overhaulment of the Board of Education and what makes teachers, the reason why we're not in there is because our black teachers are not passing these tests and becoming licensed to become teachers.
Oh, really?
For some reason. For some reason, we're not getting in to be able to teach our own kids. So they're just playing us all around the board when it comes to our kids. I mean, but look, this is what I think. This is exactly what we have been wanting. We've been looking for years a way on how to get our kids from in front of these people.
Yep.
And this COVID was perfect.
Perfect.
It was the perfect
Yes.
way to get my son away from from having to send him every day to these schools.
Yep.
And let me tell you something, if we don't send our kids to these schools, they charge us with